So Zimbabwean Exemption Permit holders have a reprieve, it seems, for about 12 months. The High Court has today declared Home Affairs Minister Motsoaledi's decision to terminate the permit system without proper consultation as unlawful. The matter was brought by the Helen Suzman Foundation and the Consortium for Refugees and Migrants in South Africa. Well, I'm joined now by Simba Chitando of the Zimbabwe Permit Holders Association. Thank you so much for your time this evening. So what exactly does this mean for Zimbabweans in South Africa who've got that permit?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Greetings to your audience. There were two judgments today. The first judgment, may I say the Helen Suzman judgment, that judgment was very clear. The High Court has declared the government's decision to end the ZEP unlawful and the decision-making process unlawful, which is a very strong judgment because it basically sets aside everything that the minister has done. Zimbabwe Immigration Federation's judgment, part A of that judgment, I believe that interdict also was successful. You mentioned a time period which has been given, which is also very strong. It puts the ZEP holders in a stronger position than they had yesterday. And we're quite happy. We're quite happy that that those two judgments have gone in favor of the ZEP holders. We always knew the decision by the minister was unlawful. And the Zimbabwean Exemption Permit Holders Association, ZEP, who I represent, are pushing for permanent residency, or at least the pathway for ZEP holders to apply for permanent residency. And so that is still pending. We haven't heard from the court.
I hear you. So for those with the ZEP, they now have a further 6 months to try and get everything in order. We know a lot of people have applied for this waiver because originally the deadline extension ended in December. Now it's probably this time next year. So that's a bit of extra time. For the minister, presuming he doesn't challenge us, we don't know, he's still looking at the judgment, would he have to literally start the process again and involve you properly, consult with the right organizations and open it all up again? Is that what's going to have to happen?
That's what should happen. That is what the court has ordered in the Helen Suzman case. And it is an argument that the ZEP, the party that I represent, had always argued. There were lots of correspondence with the minister and his department before he made a decision to end the ZEP. There was no public participation process. It has been that, at least that argument has been raised by all the applicants who sought relief for the ZEP holders. And we're happy that the court has agreed with that. In a matter like this, which affects so many people, we're talking about 180,000 people directly, possibly millions of people indirectly, employers, banks, landlords, companies, academic institutions, all affected by this decision by the minister, and none of them were consulted. And yes, the minister would have to go back to the drawing board. It's back to square one for Dr. Motsoaledi.
But what does it mean for people who've applied for this so-called waiver? Is that still going to be legitimate? Or will they have to start the whole process again, bearing in mind the courts found that what the minister did was unlawful because he didn't follow process properly?
That's a very good question. I'm so happy that you raised it. I have always argued, and something that we submitted in our court case, that the whole waiver system, or the request that the minister made to ZEP holders that they should apply for waivers, was unlawful. One shouldn't have to apply for waiver only to then apply for a visa and permit. In a sense, you're applying twice for one visa or one permit. Which is it's a tax. It's a unlawful tax. It is economic exploitation, in my view, and it is unlawful. As ZEP holders, like any other foreign national, who ought to have the right to apply for any visa or permit that they qualify for without having to apply for a waiver. So the waiver, those who have applied for waivers, in my view, and have paid money, I've said it before, have been swindled. They shouldn't have been in a position where they had to apply for a waiver to begin with.
I want to play.
They should just apply for whatever they want.
For the visa. I want to play a clip from you, and this is from Diepsloot. We know it's an area that's plagued by crime, and it's interesting to listen to how today's court decision is being understood by the people of Diepsloot. Let's take a listen, and then I'd love a comment from you.
We're not targeting foreign shops. We're targeting illegal foreigners that are in our country. We're making a call even to this foundation, your Helen Suzman Foundation. We're making a call to them. They must stop supporting wrong things. They are not feeling our pain as people in the township. And we feel they are not representing us. They are not for us. We don't know which agenda they are pushing. How can you oppose a government that is elected by the people? That people are crying to this government to say, we have a problem of illegal foreigners. Helen Suzman would run to court and oppose each and every progress that is made by Department of Home Affairs to chase people who are illegal in our country. So we are with Home Affairs. We have seen the offer that is done by Home Affairs Department, but we have a stumbling block, a foundation that is called Helen Suzman Foundation. We really don't know which interests are they representing. So as people of Diepsloot, we are going to intensify our protests that call for a president to come here together with 4 ministers that include justice, that include human settlement, that include home affairs, that include police. So indeed, we are intensifying our strike today. We are not stopping.
So briefly, when you hear things like that, you know, stop doing wrong things, really not happy with that court victory today, what's your response?
I heard what the gentleman said. I'd like to say I empathize with his circumstances. He's got him and many people in the Diepsloot community have got service delivery issues and crime issues that they would like resolved by the government. That said, I believe that Helen Suzman Foundation, Zimbabwean Immigration Federation, ZEPA, Zimbabwean Exemption Permit Holders Association, and various other NGOs and human rights organizations, lawyers for human rights, they would like a country that is bound to the principles of the rule of law. They do not target the individuals, Diepsloot, who are angry with service delivery. Instead, that what they are arguing for, what we've all argued for, is for the human rights of ZEP holders who are in the country lawfully, who are contributing to the economy, who have built in many years, over 12 years, built South Africa what it is today. Many experts in the ZEP community, many educators, employers who have contributed to the economic welfare of that individual and many others in Diepsloot. I think he's targeting the wrong people, and I believe if the president does go to Diepsloot, he ought to tell the people in Diepsloot that the ZEP holders are not responsible for his particular circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate the clarity. Simba Chitando of the Zimbabwe Permit Holders Association.